Welcome to another session of the Release to Shine podcast. First, I'm going to ask that every one of you who are listening, that you subscribe to the channel, that you like the page, if you like the content that is being shared, and share it with others. Today, my guest is David Martin. David is an entrepreneur, a multimedia specialist, learning technologist, and trainer. His areas of expertise is public relations, curriculum development, animation, and media production. He has regional experience as a multimedia production and animation trainer in Jamaica, Antigua, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. He has worked with the Ministry of Education in Antigua and Jamaica, where he worked as an instructor as well with Jamaica's Heart Trust National Training Agency, Northern Caribbean University, and the Vocational Training and Development Institute. David has a need for young people in the Caribbean to be more involved in the digital creative industries, especially animation and multimedia production, as these skills are in demand. Welcome, David. How are you today?
I am doing well, Megan. Doing great.
Good. Well, David, we spoke a few weeks ago and you shared with our listeners your health challenges. There are some new developments, and I'm going to ask you to expound on that for us.
Okay, so when last week we spoke, I had told you that I had a stroke, recovering from a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the new development was my last visit to the cardiologist. He informed me that my echocardiogram report indicated that my status, which was mild, moderate last year when I did the echo, has moved from mild, moderate to severe. So I am now going to need a mitral valve replacement.
David, for those who are listening, break that down a little bit for us. Break that down for them. What is really happening in layman terms?
All right. I don't know how I could do it in layman terms, but I will try definitely. Well, so the cause of my stroke was rheumatic heart disease that I had as a child, which I only found out after I had the stroke. He was going on a trip to the neurologist, and he said, "Oh, you need a cardiologist because your stroke was caused by rheumatic heart disease as a child." And then he proceeded to ask me if I ever had sore throat, strep throat, etc. Of course, my parents were really shocked because I never had any of those kind of symptoms. So anyways, long story short, the rheumatic heart disease actually damages the heart valves over time. And I have this condition called AFib that causes an irregular heartbeat. And it causes because the valves aren't working well, it causes all I know that there are some fancy terms like regurgitate but essentially my heart sounded like a washing machine on the echocardiogram. So the simplest thing I could say was that my heart was a factory creating blood clots. Right? And it's one of those blood clots found its way to my brain on February 24th last year, causing the stroke. So I still have to thank God because I've had this my whole life and I did not know about it. So it could have been worse. So at any point along my growing up, I could have just fallen over and nobody would have probably known what had happened to me.
David,
So now
thanks.
what has happened is that the mitral valve is now worse than it was last year, which means that over the period and taking all of those drugs, 8 pills a night, did nothing really.
Mm-hmm.
However, what has happened is that when it moved from mild to severe, means that it is more constricted. Like there's a pipe and the pipe has gotten smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So now the pipe now has to, if a doctor is listening, probably, he may kind of understand better. But basically now I have to take out that valve, remove the valve that is causing the problems, switch it out
Mm-hmm.
for a newer valve. But it's a tissue valve or a mechanical valve. So with that surgery, that would prolong my life. And if it's a tissue valve, it will get me off of those medication that will definitely enable me to start eating green leafy vegetables again.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a mechanical valve, I'll be part robot.
Mm.
And that would outlive me. Not sure I want a valve to outlive me.
Mm.
But as long as I can stay around for my family, I am great. And doing what I want to do, fulfilling my purpose in the name of the Lord, I am great.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that, David. How would you like our listeners to help as you navigate this path?
All right. So basically, at this moment, I'm exploring options for surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hearing back from a few different places. And of course, the surgery is expensive, not only to do the surgery, but also the aftercare, medication if necessary,
Mm-hmm.
others among other things.
And
So I
what's
am going to be setting up. As you can see, the information at the bottom of the screen with my PayPal. If they want to donate, they can donate. But I'm also accepting funds via wire transfer, which anyone who is interested, contact me directly via WhatsApp, and I will be able to give them more information how they can donate and how they can help. I've also, in addition to this program, I've also had friends submit my info to the national newspaper with the Gleaner. I can
mm-hmm.
send that link at another time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically has the same information as here, with a,
Mm-hmm.
probably a little bit more detail as to what to add to what you ask. But I am open. You can always, anyone can talk to me, call me. I am not fussy. Because some of the times during my whole ordeal and going through the crucible,
Mm-hmm.
some of the main things that really helped me, prayers helped for certain, and encouragement. Cannot tell you how many people encourage me.
Mm-hmm.
And people always seem to come to me with some survivor story. Like,
Mm.
did you know that this person had a stroke and they are now better? You know? And those survivor stories, they
Yes.
work wonders on the brain. And I pay it forward as well. My story, I on platforms like this, I am very glad to tell people, give people advice, tell them how to make it through whatever ordeal they're going. Because the same principles I used to get through my crucible, you can pretty much cookie cut it and apply it to a whole lot of other situations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, David, is there a figure? Is there a dollar figure, a dollar amount that you are trying to work towards to help to offset the cost, medical cost for the surgery and other expenses relating to this surgery?
Okay, well, I have been doing my research, my due diligence to find out, to get some quotes around the place. I have heard some numbers, but after really settling down and taking all things into consideration, like getting to where I need to go, everything considered, 35,000 US would be that dollar figure that I would be looking at
Okay.
to offset what I would need based on everything, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that is what I would look at realistically,
Yes.
because as I said before, I haven't gotten a flat, solid figure as yet to
Mm-hmm.
say this is the amount, this is the exact amount. And I understand because going and researching, there's a lot of factors that I have to put in. There's a lot of tests to do that some places say I need to do X, Y, Z tests, or I
Mm-hmm.
have to come to that particular place for them to do that test. And that is traveling, that is accommodation to get there, consultancies that I need to do, all things related. But it's a learning experience because sometimes we take things for granted, especially when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to healthcare. We just think that, oh, you're sick, you just go get the medicine and that's it. But when you check out everything else related, it is
Mm-hmm.
really substantial amount of information. So even so, that is why I am glad to give advice as well. Because what I learn, I can
Mm-hmm.
teach back. I can tell
Absolutely.
folks that this is what you need to look out for, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. David, because not everyone will be viewing this session today, they will be listening. A lot of people will just be listening to the podcast. I'm going to ask you to share your information so those who are listening can hear. That's the PayPal information, your telephone number, and any other contact information that you have.
All right. So first, my phone number is 876-802-3286. And that
Repeat
is
it for me.
also my 876-802-3286.
Mhm.
That's my main mode of contact. And it's also my WhatsApp information as well. And you can reach me on WhatsApp at any time. Leave me a message and I will respond within 24 hours.
What about the
My
PayPal?
PayPal is my PayPal is ycannymedia@gmail.com.
Okay, you want to
That
repeat
is
that?
ycannymedia@gmail.com.
Okay.
My email address is d as in dog multimedia 77 at gmail.com as well.
And you want to repeat that as well.
D multimedia 77 at gmail.com.
Okay.
Any
Thank
other
you, Dee.
information in terms of donation, I would prefer if I'm contacted directly via WhatsApp or phone call and I can give further instructions.
All right. Thank you, David. David, what is your message to job seekers who believe that their circumstances signify an end of their life instead of an end of a chapter? I want you to speak to that because you know this podcast is focusing on individuals who, job seekers who were released from prison and individuals who were released from a job, and these individuals are looking for work. But because of their circumstances, they see it as the end of their life and not the end of a chapter.
Right. Now, my grandparents have a saying, what is not dead, don't dash it away. Or what not dead, no dash way. You may have to get a translator for that one. But simply says, if it's not dead, do not throw it away. I have seen my mother resurrect plants that were dried down to the roots.
Mhm.
And I used to marvel at that. And that is one manifestation of that thought. So your situation,
Mhm.
you're only first of all, you're only feeling that way because we have been socialized over the past few years to believe that the job is every single thing. It is life, it is everything. You're in this rat race and you're not even a rat. But like everything, it's cyclical. Life is cyclical. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. It's best to just understand where you are and
Mhm.
make the most of it.
Absolutely.
Now you don't have a job, make the most of not having a job. There are advantages to not having a job. And I can tell you because I have not worked from last year, February until now. And I am a
Mm-hmm.
workaholic and a rat racer. So if I can tell you that, look, it's not the end of your life, believe me, because there's more to life than just slaving every day, working, working, working. Everything conspires to make you feel that money is everything. Money isn't everything. God is everything. God, my favorite preacher says, God can make things happen for you without money. And I have
Mm-hmm.
proven that if it's one thing my illness has proven, is that that is indeed possible.
Yeah.
God indeed can make things happen without money.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Absolutely.
a lot of the miracles that I have received over my year, I didn't work for them.
Mm-hmm.
The kindness shown to me wasn't in a time of people coming out of COVID. They had to sacrifice. Logically, sacrificing to help somebody. Some don't even know me, right? Some know me, I understand, but some people don't even know me and they sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
It could only be in the Lord touching a heart to say, do this for this person at this time. So I've seen a lot of miracles, and we are all God's children. I am no better
Mm-hmm.
than anyone else. And the
Mm-hmm.
same miracles He works for me, He will work for you. So
Absolutely.
take advantage of this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
You always wanted some time to do whatever you wanted to do. Now, chapter is closed. Take the time to do what it is you wanted to do. Learn a
Mm-hmm.
new skill, learn a new language, upskill yourself, whatever experience you're coming out of. If you're coming out of prison, you have a wealth of information to stop others from getting into prison.
That's right.
Whatever the situation, you have that information and that knowledge that is valuable. If you had a bad job, toxic work experience before, thank God you're released from the toxic work experience. Time to know to detox yourself
Mm-hmm.
and write a book about your toxic work experience to stop others from prolonging too long in their particular toxic work experience.
Mm-hmm.
So to see what life is for its day to day, enjoy every moment, every hour, and just move on. And that is as simple as I can make it. Just move
Dave,
on with your life and do the best you can.
thank you. That was profound. Well, David, this session really today was just for you to share about your medical challenges. And therefore, I am going to give you the next 2 minutes to share whatever it is that you would like to talk about. Whether you want to appeal again to someone to invest or assist with these medical costs, or you have another little message for the job seekers. It's all up to you now.
Well, I could probably repeat if it is one thing that has happened to me. I used to be a great talker, but now I measure my words very well. I measure my words now. So, of course, the information, of course, you can call me 876 802 3286. I can be WhatsApped at the same number. Any information that you need, call or WhatsApp. It's quicker, or you can email dmultimedia77@gmail.com. I'm also a motivational speaker, and I do not run away from any responsibility, especially if it means speaking to young people. So if you have young people that you want spoken to, that is my area of expertise. motivating young people, especially in the creative industries, digital arts, animation, you name it. I'm an animation evangelist. So whether you want me for your church, your school, I would have been making the rounds if I wasn't ill this year. I would have been making the rounds because during COVID, despite that disease taking over everything, I still made the rounds. We did everything online, but I still made the rounds. We did everything via Zoom, but I still made the rounds because I have a passion for young people's development, teach them how to get from point A to point B, showing them all the steps involved. And as long as I have breath, as long as I can talk, as long as I can think, I have a contribution. So you just send the questions and I will gladly join, participate, advise. I haven't gotten back to where I want to be in terms of teaching as yet, but that is where I am headed. The stronger I get, the more I do, the more I push myself. Not to be ill-temperate like before, but as much as I can manage, that is what I will be doing. Much as I am allowed by God to do, I will do. So that is basically what I have to say. And finally, put God first in everything. Putting Him first in everything, you will see results. It's not about the quantity of your prayers or the quantity of your service, it's the quality. Put God first in every single thing and put yourself second, and He will definitely work for you.
Okay, David,
So
thank
that's
you
it for
so
me.
much. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for being here. And listeners, please support David. Support him if you can financially. His information is on the screen for those who are listening. You can visit the podcast site, the YouTube channel, my Facebook, Instagram. The information for David will be on these pages. Thanks for listening. And again, remember to subscribe to the channel and share with others who need to hear these messages, and also like the page. Thank you. This is Megan Wade, and we're signing off for today.
All right. Thank you, Megan. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
You're released to shine. Those incarcerated, leaving lives